Hey there, Mountain Christian Center. My name is Tory Wheeler. I just want to thank you guys for coming today and listening on my testimony with just the possibility of maybe me joining you guys' ministry team. So let's get started. I'm 21 years old. I was born and raised in Roseburg, Oregon, where I currently live now. I have two amazing parents and just amazing family who I was blessed to have, who raised me up in the church, and without them wouldn't be the person who I am today. And um, so I have really no point of when I got saved. Growing up, I played sports. That was basically a huge part of my life. I played basketball, baseball, and a little bit of football. Played all the way through high school, and it was just a joy. I loved it. It was a really huge part of my life. And so by the time I reached middle school, that's where my life really got a little bit tough. Growing up, as a kid, it was pretty easy and really no major struggles. But by the time I hit middle school, all my friends at this public school I was going to we were all going through puberty, and what middle school is like, where it gets everyone's character starts changing and kids start diving into worldly things, and me growing up in a great home, I didn't want a part of that, and I experienced a lot of rejection and loneliness because of it, because all my friends that I had just started turning their ways. And so I really had a tough time all the way actually up through a little bit of my high school career as well. It's just dealing with those things and trying to feel accepted without diving into those worldly things. And so by the time I was in high school, of course, being actively involved in sports, and I ended up finding this friend who was a believer, which was really cool, and we hung out like all the time, and things were great, and but God being God and works in funny ways, we ended up losing our friendship due to a girl, and that's kind of funny looking back, but out of that, God used it for a glorious thing. I kind of fell back into some depression and loneliness, and about that time I had a friend who I went to church with, who attended a Christian school right there in Roseburg, and he comes up to me and asked me to come and join him, and he's a big sports guy who's really gifted in sports, and I was like, no, I don't think so. During that time, the public school was definitely a bigger school, and with the possibility of going to college, it was better to stay in there, and so I was like, I don't think so. But in the middle of just that depression and loneliness, God spoke to me and really encouraged me to make that change, and so halfway through my sophomore year, I did, and what a great decision it was. I mean, I showed up first day, and everyone just embraced me, just with love and acceptance, and all the way through my high school career, they teachers just poured into my life, and sports coaches especially taught me how to play sports with a passion for Christ. And it was just a really great place for me to be, with my relationship with God really not being solidified, and then stepping into that place, that school where people were speaking to my life, and the atmosphere was godly, and I was really able to deepen my relationship there and make my faith evident. And so about my junior year, I was feeling the call into ministry, youth in particular, and I started making plans, and of course God, having ultimately His will is perfect, said, nope, that's not the plans I have for you. And so His plans were, I took off the first year after I graduated, and I'm just working 3 jobs, and served in my youth group the first time I got a chance to intern in youth ministry, which is a great opportunity there, and that whole year was just a great chance for me just to mature in my relationship with God, as well as just kind of get some experience in the real world. Growing up in high school, my biggest challenge was the next sports game I had, and so taking that year off was a really good chance for me, just for my relationship with God, to more or less struggle well and become more my own faith. And so the next year after that, I felt God calling me into this ministry program called Anthem. It's under the Emerging Leaders Network in the Foursquare Church, and it was located down in Medford, which is about an hour and a half south from here, and I got down there, and it was just a great 2 years I spent down there, and God just really poured into my life. I got a chance to just see the church and the depthness of it, and really get some hands-on ministry as far as being in children's ministry a little bit first year, and of course youth, and kind of some behind the scenes of pastoral care and ushering, and kind of a worship focus as well, and alongside of that, taking Bible classes. That was my first year, and just that first year was a great chance for God just to kind of mold me, and just the direction that He was taking me, and of course deepening my relationship with God, and just a great place for me to be for people pouring into my life, and really training me in just ministry. And as a second year there, I was given the full responsibility of running the youth group, and that was awesome. I loved it, and it was just a joy to be able to take what God had gifted me in and what was placed in my heart, and able to put into practice, and obviously struggling well, and taking on leadership roles and leading a team and leading small groups, and it was just an awesome place. Awesome opportunity for me just to really get my feet wet in that experience for me. And so after Anthem, I was feeling God calling me back here to Roseburg for a season, and so that's where I am today. And God has called me just to come back and serve into my home church under the youth ministry, and just serving my head pastor in the roles that he needs filled. And currently I'm running a college group with a bunch of friends of mine. It's been great just coming back and being able to pour in and invest in their lives, and see just the incredible growth and the steps that they're taking. I'm running the high school small group alongside of my buddy, and it's great just seeing those kids' hearts just passionate about what God has in store for them, and what God is doing in the moment. And so I actually just took my pastor's license interview this last Friday, and went great, and I should be expecting that here in a couple weeks. And so here I am today, just waiting and seeing what God has in store for me next. I know being here in Roseburg, there's not really a place for me here in the future to step into a full-time position, and knowing that God is just having me be in a season of just waiting for Him to open doors and close doors, and just step in to that next place. And so this being just an open door for me, my heart is to see if this is God's will, and I know your guys' heart as well is to find that person that just fits your team perfectly and a part of God's plan. And so my heart for you guys, my prayer for you guys, is to find that one. If it's me, great. If it's somebody else, great. I know God provides in amazing ways. And so there's my testimony, and hope I can be communicating with you guys soon. All right, thanks a lot.